Hey everyone, this is the Antminer repair channel, and I'm really excited tonight to do a review on this new hashboard tester. And it actually tests a lot more than just Antminer, and I think it is probably the solution if you are running a shop with all sorts of different brands of miners, and I'll get into that later. But tonight what we're going to do is unbox this dude. Stasic.tech was nice enough, they sent me this, so I just wanted to make clear that I was sent this, and I'm sure glad they did actually. Been using it a little while to get used to it. I put it back in the box so you can see how the box comes out and stuff. We'll hook it up, show you how to install it, and then we're going to take a look at the actual application. And I may throw a circuit board on here. It's just enough to review this, just enough to know I've been using it, and I'll probably make several other videos on using this. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, usually I work on hashboards and how to fix them, or look at this great technology that's coming out. Please subscribe to our channel, and then also if you are trying to repair circuit boards and you haven't added yourself to our Discord server, the address to the Discord server is in our video description, and I highly recommend you do that because there's a lot of experts on there and a lot of information on there. And I will give the website address for this tester so you can contact the company if you need to. I actually added a channel on our Discord server with the install documentations on this and an area where we can discuss any issues, if any, we have on this, because this has been a fantastic tool. So let's get started. This company has been around since 2003. They actually were a data recovery company, and then they switched gears into the ASIC repair business, and their first tester came out in 2021, so they're relatively new, and they're just starting to break into the outside the Russian market. So if you're wondering what's the difference between this and ARC and Zeus, you know, the Bitmain tester and some of the other testers, the huge difference about this is I think it's faster to test a board. I think it covers more models, and yeah, I think it's just better overall. And I'll get into all the features in a minute. Oh, the price, $2,599 USDT, which actually for all the miners you get is actually very reasonable. So let's unbox this thing. Obviously I've opened this before, but let's take a look at what's in here. So all right, so what's in here? We've got a lot of different cables. Cable for Innosillicon. So if we're testing their miners, you plug this into their device and plug it into the hashboard you need to, and it works. And they also build you a cable for Antminer, which is, of course, near and dear to my heart, since this is what the channel is. And also they provide a cable for Whatsminer. There are also other cables for other types of miners that they either give you the wiring diagram or help you create. You can order from them, which is cool. They include a USB. This thing's run on a USB. And then the box. And here it is. Actually, what I really like about this is it's very small footprint. I mean, if you think about the size of a USB, this thing is tiny, and what it can do is just a ton of stuff. So let's take a look at what's on here. Obviously, this is the power for USB, and if you can see on the video, there's a little port here. That's not a reset button. I guess it's not. This actually can become a hard disk, and this is how you install the software the very first time. All the other times are automated. So I'm going to take you through the process of getting this puppy running. When you buy this, they actually send you the initial boot file that you load on here with an imager. And then once that's done, it has an update button on itself like that. So we have the USB port. There's an LED that does some stuff. And then obviously here's the plug that you would plug these dudes in. Yeah, how about, I'm not even sure how that one goes, but you plug this guy into here and then it does it. So we'll do some of that too. So all right, so they also send some documentation on how to do this. I had a couple issues. One is I have it uses your Wi-Fi to go update. So this is a Wi-Fi broadcaster, and when you use it you connect to the Wi-Fi, and so if you have a PC that you need to get to the internet and use this, you're going to need to have a cable and your Wi-Fi connected to this. Other than that, that's no problem. It's kind of interesting how it updates you. You connect to it via Wi-Fi because it broadcasts. It's called Testers XXX. And I'm sorry, I probably won't be able to record me connecting to Wi-Fi just because I didn't set up an image of doing that. But there's clear instructions. I noticed that the 5G router SSID that I connected to or told it to connect to didn't work. But the 2.4 gigahertz or megahertz, I forget what it is, the lower speed Wi-Fi worked without a problem. So we're actually going to do that, and you can hear it. You'll see the lights light up. Okay, I think I covered all that. Pretty simple. I mean, really, if you think about it compared to, geez, I'm sitting here beside me with the big Zeus thing. I mean, the Zeus thing is a monster compared to this. So nice to have this little box, and so nice the speed. It's just nice. Let's put it that way. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to start this up. Actually, I'll do it the other way. Let me get the USB plugged into a power source. The first time you do this, I got a USB hub over here. The first time you do this, you're going to want to connect it to, and just a minute, let me get to the right place. I'm switching a lot of different software over here, trying to get it in a video, so it's going to be a little bit clunky. All right, so the first time you do this, we need to get the software on the hard drive. So you don't just plug it in and turn it on because it'll boot itself. So what you need to do is, I got a needle here. Probably better to have a more blunt information, more blunt object. But I go into that hole. I have it depressed. I'm pushing something there, and I turn it on with that pushed. And if you do it right, it should start up, and you should see no light. And the reason I know this worked is actually because I'm running a Mac, and on VMware, when you plug in a new hard disk, you say, do you want to connect it to Windows, or do you want to connect it to your original Mac? And I know this came up. So right now, this is just a memory hard drive on a USB. So I'm going to switch over to show you how to get the image file in there, and we'll do that, and then we'll go through the upgrade process also. Okay, so let me connect this guy and then switch the video. Let's see here. If I do this and that. All right. So here's what happens when you plug it into your Windows machine. First thing that pops up is you need to format this, and that's the last thing you want to do. There's great warning in the Stasic.tech documentation on installation. Don't format the disk. You'll mess it up. I think there's a disk with multiple partitions on here basically, and if you format it, you're going to lose the partition. So what I'm going to do is say cancel, and then they ask you, I know you can probably use Ballon Etcher for this, but I wanted to use the software they did. This is free software that I downloaded from, I think, win32discimager.org. It's a open source project, so it's you know, free basically, and so I had no problem downloading this and installing it. Here's the file they gave me, this STUS boot right here. So what I'm going to do is open this image file. It's kind of like getting your miner stuff ready when you like create an image for your miner. Is I'm going to open up this file. I'm going to go find this dude in desktop. So used to using my Mac, so let's go find my file down here or up there. Okay, so that's it. It's a .bin file, if you can see that. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to hit open. And what this has is in here. Now, I'm pretty sure I mounted to drive E, but let's check it out. You go to Explorer, and if you see my removable disk, that's the Stasic tester right now in the mode it's in. So I'm going to close that back. And I'm ready because the E drive is selected, so I'm going to write that guy. And I'm going to that. All right, so this is done. We're all done with Windows at this point, except for you. I'm switching back to my Mac, but if you're running a Windows box, it's now time to reset this, and I'll show you how to do this. Now, I'm not going to show you how to connect to Wi-Fi on Windows and stuff, but You guys know how to do that, I'm sure. So I'm going to turn back on my overhead. Good deal. So the box is still sitting here in disk mode. I'm going to unplug it. Okay. Then I'm going to plug it back in. So it's going to boot on that new bin drive. And you can kind of hear it beeping, and you can see the light flashing. Okay. So now what's going on is it enabled the Wi-Fi transmitter. And so what I need to do with my Mac is to go change the Wi-Fi I'm on, and then I will show the window. So let me do this next, which is there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go change my Wi-Fi, and I'm going to connect to this dude. So mine is tester 789. Yours might have a different number. So as soon as that connects, see if I can get my keyboard. I use my PC, and there's like a bunch of mining boards I need to fix all around it because I don't usually use the PC here to do stuff. Oh, check it out. It knew, so it booted up. So I changed my password. It connected. Macs are kind of nice. They'll refresh. And I see a problem here that I can't. Let me try to resize my browser so I can get all this in. So let me go find it. I'm working all in Streamlabs, and I'm have fun with sizes. So let me go find the browser window I am using for this. So the problem is I didn't open up this enough. Yeah, I can scroll here. All right, so the top is install, enter the Wi-Fi. So this was kind of odd for me, and I may gray this out, I may not. It really doesn't matter. But my SSID is that. This is just your Wi-Fi broadcast and the password to get in. And I'll probably gray this out, but if I don't care because you guys don't know where I live. Oh yeah, we don't want a space in there. All right. So let me get rid of that space. Now, what's going to happen, and I'm going to switch back to video. So what I'm going to do is hit connect on this, but I want to switch back to video real quick. If I can. You'll see it try to update. Okay, so here goes. I'm going to hit connect on the website. And what it's going to do, oh, they've upgraded the firmware since I've got brand new firmware. This is cool. They have a countdown. So what this guy is going to do, you see it blinking. It's actually connected to my Wi-Fi, going to the Stasic.tech website only one time, which is kind of cool, and it's installing the firmware. So this will do this a few times. So we'll wait, and hopefully you can hear the beeping. With that, yes, it's almost done. Be patient. They say wait 90 seconds. My bet is it just went. What you could tell is it disconnects you from its Wi-Fi, goes off, does its thing, and then I have to reconnect back to it. I'll go ahead and wait the 30 seconds if they want. I think it's pretty well done. I think I need to reboot it, but maybe not. We'll try. Maybe it rebooted itself, so we'll try it straight up. So anyway, I'm going to come back and show you the app that's running right now. So it's just saying wait. I think it might do an auto refresh after that, and up will come the menu. So let's check this out. And I hope to gosh I can fit all the menu in here because I just don't have my window small enough in here on the video. But we'll try it out. All right, so let me go retest. Let me go reconnect on the Wi-Fi, the tester. Okay, it's doing that. And I think the manual says go to 5.5.5.menu. By the way, what I did was go to 5.5.5.5 right when I loaded the new firmware. So let's try this out. See if it's up. I might have to shut her down. Oh no, look at that. There we go. So this is pretty cool. Let's just take a little tour of this and you can kind of get a feel for the models. I'm going to have to scroll through. There's just, so this is just the Antminer models. And I know there's more. I think they restructured this, so let me see. Model selection. So this is all the Antminer miners. Let me make sure you get them all. They just added S19 Pro. I did want to point out, if it doesn't show, let me see if I can get it up there. I'm gonna make my window smaller. Oh shoot, I can't show. But down at the bottom of this, dude, there's this little button. It's about right. It's further down to the lower right, and it's upgrade. So from now on, when they issue a firmware update, I press a button. You give it your SSID again. It'll go out and refetch the new stuff. Now each one of these dudes, I don't have a table connected, but like if you want to look at the S17 Plus, and you select that, my window's not big enough to show it, but it has. Well, actually, it did barely. So it does all the chips. There's actually some out to the right of the 10 over here. And here's the menu. Now, in any of these, when you do it, you actually have an external power supply. So I have the bench power supply. So on the S17 Plus, and I'm sorry I can't, maybe I can, hold on, let me see if I can crunch the view down and maybe it'll all, oh yeah, here we go. Hang on guys, sorry about that. One more. That's getting better. Okay, so I have an S17 thing installed. I don't right now. I'm just going to go over the software. And the first thing it does when you actually try to power it, it'll check your PIC, and if it can't find an answer, this will light up. It'll also test the RO circuit if it can't get through. So that's that middle test point. Basically, if it can't get all the way through, something's wrong, or if there's no power on it, something's wrong. It'll tell you right up front. If all those are good, what I can do is I can hit this start test right here, and it's still barely. Can I see if I can get it one down more? Maybe it'll help. Oh yeah, look at that. Sorry about that. Geez, I can almost get the update thing in here and show you too. So if I have the board hooked up in power, I hit start test. I mean, I'll hook a board up in a minute at the end of this video, but it's like instantaneous. It tells you what it is. I mean, it's very fast. And I notice what it's doing to my power supply. It'll go click, click, and it receives a response really fast. So you can sit there and keep testing it, and like doing the short out trick where you can find out which chip it is really fast. It's quite nice. If I just wanted to go straight power, like if you have a 0 ASICs issue, I can just turn the power on the board and it runs it at power. One note is it's really good about not heating up the board, but if you're running a board with no heat sinks on it, you still have to kind of watch to make sure it doesn't get too hot. I try to use this as much as possible when I do it, but sometimes I do use this. Like when I'm testing the boost circuit, I'll have this on for short periods of time and do that. It also has an entire EEPROM selection. Let me go in there. So I can read an EEPROM, I can write to an EEPROM. It also will let you select an EEPROM out of the file. And I know on some of these they have, as far as on the documentation, they have an emergency reboot on the EEPROM. So let me return over here. And then to check the temp, to read the temp sensors, I really probably should put a board in, and I will, I promise you. I'm just going over the software. This is cool. You just click this. It shows you which temperature sensors are reading which temperature, both chip and thing. It's instantaneous. So you just click this on and it'll show you the temps. If you have 0 ASICs, you can't look at the temps because it can't get the I2C communications back. But that's just a tour of the S17 Plus. Yeah, I still can't quite get the update thing in there. But I mean, another miner I worked on a lot was the T17, so it's a real simple miner, obviously, but really cool. So it does all this. So let's go back here, and then let's go look at some of the other models. So ARC does this stuff because it's for an Antminer, but then like I said, if you're running a shop and you have a lot of different brands, check this out. So this does a lot of Whatsminer's versions, Aladdin, Axon, I didn't even heard of that, guys. Innosillicon, Avalon, check out those. This guy, I guess you choose a version, the 93 I'm looking at over here. I don't even know what it looks like. Let's choose it. Yeah, so that's what that guy looks like. So let me see. I think there might even be more, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go to the next page. Strong U and more Whatsminer models. Pretty cool. So this thing has the cables, comes with the cables. You get all these miners. And I can't imagine, so you buy one for Antminer, then you have to buy a different testing utility for another one. This one kind of covers, you know, most of what you're going to get. I'm going to go back to my my familiar grounds, or this channel's grounds anyway, for certain. So that's the software in essence. And like I said, I could hit the upgrade button and do all that stuff. So now I just want to, before I hook this guy up and to the actual cables and stuff, just want to check out what I had said is scroll through the documentation real quick. So let me see if I can turn that guy off, turn that guy on. So let's check out just the manual, because it actually talks a lot. This is what they send you. This is what they send you when you purchase it. So this is basically just telling you what I said, but this goes over the button and connectors. So you have the LED, the boot mode button, which was right down here. This was probably a little older model, and then the USB power supply and the data connector. So I think they're doing 3D printing on their cases right now. Got a nice case. Then they talk to you about getting your stuff, and then they also talk to you about the models. So they tell you what to do. So this is kind of a really good thing, what I just kind of went through. Okay. And then talk about the EEPROM. What I didn't see on here was this thing for recovery EEPROM right here. Yeah, I didn't see that on mine. So maybe they're working on that and changing that. I'm not sure. And here's some examples of what it looks like. Mine was all red because I didn't have a board and I didn't hit test. But you see boards that have all the chips, boards that have some of the chips missing, other boards that have different stuff going on. And then they do talk about two different things. A1 requires an adapter not included in the delivery package. We provide a schematic for self-assembly or manufacture for an extra payment. So they want to wire, you can get a wiring diagram from them. Same thing for M21s, an adapter is required, and they give you a circuit for self-assembly. Okay? All right, and then they say thank you. As far as, I ask them a lot of questions. Sorry, I'm scrolling. I asked them a lot of questions before I did this video. I kind of wanted to find out more about their company. And let me go through a couple of those questions. I think some of you guys might wonder, oh, my Discord shut off because I shut the thing on. Let's not. But so I asked them about upgrading and how they notify users. They have Telegram channels. They have YouTube channel. So usually they get the word out for a new update through their YouTube channel, like they just released. I mean, like in the last week, S19J. Then I asked them, I asked them how old their company was and where they're heading with it and what the difference is. And they really pride themselves on how fast it is to debug a board. So with that, why don't I go connect a board? Problem is I have a bunch of zero ASIC boards, but let me try to find something here. When you have a zero ASIC board, it's not going to debug like the boost circuit, or it's not going to debug anything that I mean, sometimes it helps with zero ASICs. Let's just put it that way. So I'm going to connect my Antminer cable here. I'll switch back and we'll get ready. Let's see, turn that off. All right, so let's hook this dude up. And I'll find a board. Like I said, my boards, I work on some pretty serious cases, but I've already used this. It's really helped. So this is, I'm going to move this guy out of the way. It's so small. We'll just move him over here. This is an S17 board that I had working prior. Came back with a zero ASICs. I'm kind of curious what it has to say. Hang on, I think there's a right way to do this. Yeah. Let me get this guy connected, and I got to get some power on it. So So I didn't stage this. This is like what I have to deal with. So let me get my power. Let's see, positive here, negative there. All right, so you see my setup here? Got the board, got the USB. It's all you have to do. It's really cool. Now what I can do is I can go through here and I can start debugging it by just powering it on, which I can do. Let's go look at this one. Now it's 0 ASICs. Maybe it'll come up with 0 ASICs. Maybe I have a temperature issue that now it's cooled off. Maybe it's going to work, but we'll go find out. So I'm going to switch to this. I need to turn on my power. Let's do that. Make sure it's set to 21 volts. Okay, so I've got power. Let's go into the S17 Plus. Oh, wait a minute. I'm clicking on the screens to the website. S17 Plus. All right, so it's showing right now power off, our status. So I can just hit start test. Okay, basically it's done. It's telling me there's power up here and I don't have an RI circuit. So somewhere along the way, I lost my middle test point. So I just need to go find it. It won't tell you necessarily. I don't think if a tool can tell you because it has to get all the way through. So I know what to do. So if I'm going to find that, I can either keep it here. This is like generating no heat on my board. So it's, if you see the browser refreshing, I'm watching the voltage pulse through about each time it refreshes. So I can go find my middle port there, okay? Which is cool. If I had the heat sinks off, I could try my shorting trick and probably I might be able to find it, but probably not with RI out. But it does tell me my pick is good, it's getting power, and all that great stuff. So I can stop this test. It won't let me read temps because it doesn't go all the way through. I can just straight power this dude on. And right now it's running 20 volts, 21 volts through this dude. Okay, just straight off. I have all the heat sinks on because I just pulled it out of the miner. So I don't want to debug it. This will make a great video after this using this tester, which I'm going to start using it in some of the videos. And what's nice about this is the Bitmain tester does this same thing. You kind of need it to run the power, but this is so much easier and faster. I mean, sometimes it just finds, and to tell you the truth, I've had these 3S17 boards that I was having issues with, and the Bitmain tester kept saying 0 ASICs, 0 ASICs. And it's like, I went through every resistor, every capacitor, I tested every set of voltage, I used the diode voltage drop on everything. I mean, it took hours. Chips were perfect, looked at the communication chips, they were perfect, and then I throw it on here and it says, no, you're all good, it works. So I threw EEPROM on them because that tester blows away the EEPROM. I don't think this one does. That'll be something interesting to find out. I don't know. I don't think it mucks with the EEPROM unless you tell it to, which is another nice thing. So I threw these on there. They read green. I threw them in a miner and started hashing with them. So there I was for weeks, just saying I can't solve this. This thing's perfect, but I can't solve it. I never did plug it into a miner. I probably should have. But now I don't trust that tester. All right, so let me shut off the power. I don't know, like all my boards are pretty much 0 ASIC. So you want to return it when you don't want to have it running and unplug your boards and stuff. They say not to. So make sure it's not like running a test if you rip it out. I wonder if I can. I don't want to flip to another miner, so let me see if I could just. I have so many boards, but some of them have boost circuits out, and they're just going to read 0 ASIC. So let me see if I can. I can try this guy. Yeah, I think this one's a good board. And this is one of the boards that told me it was 0. So I'm switching the board out. I know you're seeing the menu. I'm plugging in a new board just like I did the last one, and I'll run it. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. It is just the flip of a button, right? I mean, let me see. So overhead. Try this. Sorry, got that. All right. So this one's obviously different than that perfect one. So this one's kind of an interesting board. I got it from a miner seller, and they had not wanted to deal with it because a lot of these don't have the copper on the top of the chip. And I ran it. It was an excellent board, and then it went out because there's some pitting in some of these, and I think it's on this whole top row is on this last leg, basically. So I ran it, then it got to 0 ASICs. It looks like I did some work down here. This has a new chip. So I did some work, but my tester kept saying 0. Now I don't trust it. So last time I looked at this dude, it was like perfect. And maybe what I can do is short out something and show you how it works. I'm hoping anyway, because if I can't show you in this video, you'll see me use it in another video, because I've got another board I'm going to take from the ground, not from the ground up, but it's like broken in many ways, and I'm going to use this tester to help me rejuvenate it. But let's take a look. I'm going to turn on the tester again. Okay. And I'm going to turn my power on. Got it in the right place. All right. I don't like to do window and window because you can't see everything. I mean, I thought about doing this. So I'm going to choose S17 Plus. And hopefully this will go. Yeah, see how fast that tested it? Only once in a while on the third one does this decide to change. Okay, so this board's good. So you notice RI is high, so there's voltage running all the way through. That was the problem with the other one, is that middle test point. So let me hit stop here. I'll show you the read temp, what it does. Okay, you see that? So it's looking at your temp sensor, so you can kind of judge is one way off. Now what this won't do is when it starts to heat up, you might even have more of a deviation, or it doesn't test that your soldering's not good, because right now this board's cool because it's hanging out and not hot. I could run power on it for a while. In fact, let's do that. So I can just, let's power this dude on. If you notice, it's like 33 Celsius, here's 2730. So if I just flip the power on this dude and warm up those chips, let me fill this. So I need to get this board mining again, really. I mean, it even takes a while to warm up. I mean, this is how long I can just power it on. It's just, and I've got chips that are bare. I'll see if it changed. I mean, it's probably not enough time because it takes a while to heat it up. I mean, it's actually really a lightweight power. So let me shut the power off and see if we went up anything. Oh, check that out. Let me try again. Look at that. I have some issues with I to C now. Wow. There it came back. Maybe they were hot. Anyway, you see they're higher, 40s, 37. That guy's jumped up higher. And I've actually had a problem with that guy running hot on this. All right, so the other thing I can do is I can start this test. What I'm going to do is on the S17, if you bridge the, I think it's the RO circuit, I can actually cut it off and say, you know, hey, stop testing and test all the chips before this. So let's start the test up. Then I'm going to take what I use. Let's see if I can do this with mine. I'm going to take like chip. I'm going to short out chip. I think it's 50, 55, 60, 50. Should be 51, I think. So I'm going to bridge it now. It should, yeah, do you see that? So I can actually live watch it happen while I'm probing these dudes. I'll do something back on the, I have no idea what number this is. Let's see if I can see what I'm doing without my microscope. Yeah, so I'm shorting that one. I'll short one up here if I can do it. Is it right there? Don't want to burn up my board. Yeah, so I'm shorting that one up there. So it's kind of cool. You can sit here and test online. And again, this is just strobing the test. It's that fast. It's way cool. And it's not heating up my board. I mean, it's really super nice to use. So anyway, I'm really happy with that. I'm going to stop the test. And let me see. Did I forget to cover anything? I think that's it. So what I have planned with this, I have a philosophy that I don't want to use expensive equipment to test on my channels because I'm after the person that needs to test their boards. So this doesn't stop me from showing you what the I call it the Zeus tester, but it's not. It's the Bitmain tester, which is a control board that runs stuff with a push button that always breaks. There's also other ways to inject voltage in the boards. I'm talking about my board and I'm not showing it, so let me show that. All right, so I mean there's ways to inject voltage here and have it grounded, and you can inject voltage. So there's a lot of ways to get voltage to run these tests. It's just I would have to read voltage for every one of these. And I still do. I mean, on that last board where it was 0 ASICs, I'm going to have to get in here while this is strobing power, and I'm going to have to test the middles on these. So I'll use the bisection technique or whatever. I'll start in the middle. If I've got RO signal here, I'll cut it over here. If I've got it there, I know it's in this half of the board or this half of the board, so I'll keep working down until I find the chip or the resistor or something else that's giving me the grief. I hope to gosh that other board isn't burned. So anyway, that's my review of this. So I highly recommend that, especially if you are a super duper mining shop and have a lot of different brands. I don't think there is another tool that's a single tool that lets you do this. So I'll be honest, I don't have experience with the RC tester. I was impressed when I saw it, but now that I know I can actually bring in other miners, and I just kind of think that this is a little bit faster than that. This is not necessarily portable. This is a bench tool right now. You can't take it out in the field and test miner boards as they are out there. Not sure I would really want to do that, to tell you the truth. If the miner board's bad, I'm going to take it back to my bench. So although it seems like a great feature to be able to take a tool out there, I guess they were using it for an EEPROM reader and writer. It just, why would you be testing hashboards on the tailgate of your truck when you're at your mine site? Maybe, I don't know, but maybe I just take this along and have a bench out there too. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please do that. And I look forward to showing you more about this tester, and I'll show you, I'll give you a preview. Let me turn off give you a preview of what I'm going to do real quick. Just show you this board I'm working on. This is a board I bought from a used mining vendor right here. You can't see it, but about 8 of these chips right here, the heat sinks ripped out the chips or ripped them off the top. You can kind of see they're messed up. I'm actually going to take this with the Stasic tester, and I'm going to rebuild this board in a series of videos, and we'll see how fast it goes. Now when you do a project like this, you think, oh, you just replace these chips, it's all great, right? No, after all the heating and stuff, you have chips wrong here and here and here, and it's just going to speed up this whole process, because I could actually spend, you know, I work part-time after work, but this could take weeks, really. So looking forward to sharing that with you guys. Thank you again for tuning in, and I hope you check that out. I'm going to get some more, hopefully get some more information. You have a channel on Discord for Stasic Tester. If you want to ask me questions there too, I'm really happy to do that. Thank you, and appreciate your time.